We're here. I'm so happy to be here. We have been waiting a long time for this event. So thank you. Good evening. My name is Darian Sloat, and you are at the Chamber Annual Awards Banquet. This year's banquet, again, has been sponsored by Midwest One. Ron, where are you? Raise your hand. There you go. Thank you. You've been a great sponsor for this event. This is the thankful part. So I would also like to thank our beverage sponsors, the Cider House and Schaus Voorhees. Thank you very much for donating towards the libations that hopefully you're enjoying tonight. Please drink those. We don't want to take them home. And thanks to the Druthy Ducks, Terry Cochran, John Funkhauser, John Grunwald, Mark Kimsey, Blair Grunwald, Aaron Kimsey, and Aaron Sperry. We decided we'd let the drumline take a year off as they kind of regroup under new leadership, and what better way than to be shocked into awareness by bagpipes. I would also like to thank Werner Elmker, who has got 7 cameras and video cameras set up in here. Thank you very much, sir. You are a gift to Fairfield and much appreciated. Thank you. All right, so this is the spot where we get to do the church thing. Stand up, sit, no kneeling. If you're a new member to the chamber in 2020 or 2021, would you please stand? I don't know if we have too many here. Gary Roth actually just signed up today as a private citizen. Thank you for coming back to the chamber, Gary. There you go, Beth Alonzo, yes. Rule and Rule Realty. All right, if you've been in the chamber for 10 to 24 years as identified in your program, please stand up. Should have warned you about this, shouldn't I? There you go. Carrick, you can't be that old. All right, whoa. Thank you for being members. Next group, 24 to 44 years. Now we're getting up there a little bit. If you've been in the chamber, 24 to 40 years, yeah, there we go. All right, so this last group, these are our gold members, and these are folks who've been in the chamber for over 45 years, and that's something that we appreciate very much because you, our members, are what keep us going and doing our best to help Fairfield be a better place to live. So we're going to introduce you. Please hold your applause until after everybody is standing. Beener Funeral Home. There you are in the back. Great. Dexter Laundry. Yeah.
Dean Pease here. Dixon Palmer skipped us. Yeah.
You were on the list. My list is a little different than yours. We haven't forgotten you, Terry, I promise. All right, Dexter Laundry standing, good. Edward Jones. All right, there we go, over in the corner. Davis and Palmer Real Estate. You're gonna have to sing for us now, though. All right, Fairfield Dental Clinic. Denise, where are you hiding out? There she is, and a couple more, I think. Fairfield Manufacturers Association. If you're a member of the Manufacturers Association, please stand. All right. First National Bank. Darren, are you here? All right. French Reniker and Associates. Hy-Vee, the good folks that are outside serving our food. Iowa State Bank and Trust. All right. Jefferson County Farm Bureau. Back there we go, Lane. Jefferson County Health Center. KMCD, Classic 96. Connor, I know you have not been around that long, but we're glad you're here. And finally, TD&T Financial Services. Jody, I saw you come in, great. Did I miss anybody? Because we have done that occasionally. So, all right. Thank you very much, members that have been here that long, and for all of you. Again, thank you all for being here. It's really nice to be in front of a crowd again, celebrating the accomplishments of our members. Thank you for being here. I would like to introduce our ambassadors. Any ambassadors in the room, please stand up. There you go. COVID has been pretty rough on ambassador visits, but we are getting back into it, and we've had some new members, and we're grateful for those folks. I would like to move on to our board of directors. If you're currently on the board of directors, please stand. There we go. Retired from the board this year. We did lose Gretchen McLean and Jen Stever. Commitments pulled them other directions, but we actually have found 3 new members who will be starting here pretty soon. Ian B. from Jefferson County Health Center. Where are you, Ian? There you are. All right. Ryan Swanson from Pilot Grove Savings Bank, and Andrew Nordyke from Foss, Kiken, Cochran, Helling, and Willman now. All right. So this one's always kind of fun. Past presidents, if you've been a past president of the Chamber Board, please stand. Nobody? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Excellent. Past presidents. All right. So at this point, we would like the Group A presenters and recipients to please start moving to your respective spots. So look at yourself on the program, figure out if that's you or not. All right, I'm a little rusty at this, and I do apologize, but I'm going to stumble through it. Looking back, 2020 presented us with challenges, the likes of which many of us have never seen in our entire life. Our communities lost businesses, we lost friends, family, and lots of folks. The Chamber, which is heavily event-focused, saw the traditional March business after hours in 2020 as the last indoor event we had that year. And it just barely got in under the wire. So for all of us, our paradigm shifted as we saw information change rapidly and constantly. Things we took for granted started disappearing. Supply chains were broken, and communication became jumbled and very overwhelming. And yet we endured and moved forward. At a time when businesses have been understaffed for years, demand for many products actually increased. We just heard story after story of businesses saying, we're getting orders like we have not seen before, and we don't have enough staff to do the job. And COVID keeps messing it up. But business is there, and that's good. During this time, the Chamber shifted from events to rapidly sharing information from hopefully reliable sources about what we could do to best manage our way through this. We trimmed our staff from 3 people to 2 people. We used that time to improve the technology in our office, and we invested our time with the Iowa South Project as a way to increase the size of our workforce in the Fairfield area. If you've never been to it, go to www.iowasouth.com. This is an initiative that's been led by Indian Hills as an attempt to get more people to move to Iowa. So you'll see some Fairfield businesses on there. If you have an interesting story, if you moved here from a major city or a major place, we'd like to hear that story to help other people say, yes, I used to live in Portland, Oregon, and I moved here and I like it. You know, we need stories like that to help other folks understand. One thing I can say as a chamber director is during this period, it feels like I've seen more people move from heavily populated areas to more rural. You know, we're finding out you can work from home more than we've ever had before. So there is an opportunity for a town like Fairfield that's so vibrant, I think, with things to do, but with a small town feel that we are seeing some benefit from this, actually. We've also used this time, we helped kind of rejuvenate the farmers market. There was a period where they were without a market master, and they reached out, and we were glad to help them. And I think they've done a great job this year. I'm so happy to see that. We've got them on the square. Please support them out there. It's a great place to be visible and to help those businesses survive too. We created a drive-by Santa event, something we've never done before. So we couldn't have the Santa house in good conscience, and so Santa went out and just talked to people on the street as they drove by. So we made do. We also created a bike rodeo. That was about 2 weeks away from happening when COVID hit. And that's a bike safety training that we provided at Pence Elementary for students in those grades. And we partnered very well with Iowa State Extension for making that event happen. So that was pretty cool. Kids liked it. We had Baffle Taffer. And for those of you who don't know, that's the Bike Around Fairfield Loop Trail Annual Fun Ride. And we created naturalists for a day who would position themselves around the trail with foods and snacks. It was a casual ride, but they were taught about the different ecosystems that you see on the trail, and that's pretty cool. We got some nice out-of-town visitors from that. We got good positive feedback. We had our second one this year. We'd love to see that continue to grow. Our Level B service ride, we were able to have that during COVID because it's an outdoor event, and that worked out really well. We just had our second one. We had 3 people complete 117 miles on gravel, which is something, I have to say. 2 of those are local guys, Clint Stevenson from Cider House and T. Liptak from, I think he has his own business now. But anyway, people say a mile on gravel is like 2 miles on pavement, so that's a long ride in a day. And they started and they finished. We also learned to pivot as an organization. We held our legislative forums virtually, first time we'd done an event like that. And we had our manufacturers appreciation event also virtual that year. Some of it worked pretty well, some of it not so much, but we're also learning. So, you know, some of the fun things that came from this, we saw carry-out margaritas from Aranda's become a thing. And Carlos and Patrice, are you here? Raise your hand. There you are. There you are. I got to say, the day I saw you carrying in a couple of crates of jelly jars, you were just smiling. You know, it seemed like you were so excited to be able to have some kind of business and something new, and it seemed like it went over pretty well. All right. Cambridge moved 800 people to a virtual workplace. That's an amazing feat. It's just incredible. Nate, Creative Edge, shifted production from what they did normally to making face shields. MIU led the way in taking extraordinary precautions to make sure international students were healthy before returning to interactions with others. They really paid a lot of attention to this, and much to their credit, because it was a time when everybody was afraid that COVID was coming in, you know, from other places. We saw retailers start to do online shopping events. That was new too. So we're learning through this process. We also developed a new love for Zoom meetings, and then we developed a hate for Zoom meetings. But it helped. And the list goes on and on. The point is, we changed our behaviors not only to survive, but to fulfill our moral obligation to our community. People's lives and livelihoods depended on us, on each of us. We didn't always like the changes. They weren't always pretty, but we did them and we survived. Some things have returned to normal, and we know that we can now create a new normal when we need to. We will continue to learn with new skills, new ways of operating, and new ways to have fun. We are a strong and vibrant community, and I think that bore itself out during COVID and the enduring problems that it creates. Looking ahead for the Chamber, we are looking at more hybrid events whenever possible so that people have choices. I think we've learned that that is something folks are, you're comfortable coming or not coming, but we'd like to be able to help both. We're going to rebuild the legislative forums that we do a little bit this year. I think they're going to be a little more friendly, a little more kind of maybe gathered around a table instead of an audience in front of a bunch of legislators. We've evolved our ambassador program. We are working currently to assist with the 50th anniversary Parsons reunion, 50th anniversary of the last graduating class. So looking forward to that coming up. We are working on developing a chamber foundation, which would be a true 501c3 so that we can accept donations. You know, we're thinking about people who liked the event. The Ed Felgar estate recently donated a fair amount to our foundation for the maintenance and purchase of Christmas decorations. And so we'd like to be able to do that, to honor those folks and to make our town, more interesting. We strengthened our partnerships with other groups in the community. Again, we worked with ISU on that bike rodeo. They did a great job, and it just turned out to be a lot of fun. We did reduce our staff from 3 to 2. We are hoping to get back to that so that we can really get dug in and create more things and be able to do more for our members. In closing, to get what you've never had, you have to do things you've never done. And that's really kind of our mantra as we look forward, is like, what else can we do? What else can we do? And part of that means you guys call us and tell us, hey, I have an idea. Can we do this? I recently talked to a young employee at Cambridge who would like to have a Yak Fest, which is a kayak festival. Interesting idea, right? So we'd like to be a part of those discussions. We'd like to facilitate in any way we can to make Fairfield a place that people want to come to. So we're going to keep doing that. All right, I'm done. It's now my pleasure to introduce our MC, our perpetual MC. And we have told her she really has to keep doing this no matter what, because she does such a nice job. Janine Parker. There you go. All right. Janine is a recent inductee into the FHS Wall of Honor, so give her a round of applause for that.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I do say yes, and I figure as soon as it's gone, maybe they'll stop, and I won't know how to say yes, but for now, we're working on it as hard as we can. And this is just such a great event because there's so much good about this town. There's so many wonderful things happening. You know, it's just like I get excited about this and recognizing all of you out there. Now, I'm not William Shatner. I know looks a little like it. I'm not quite his age, but let's launch. Let's get going. We're going to start tonight with our Past Chamber Presidents Award, and this recognizes all the work of the past chamber presidents, which tends to be a whole bunch of stuff going on. I'm very pleased to introduce to you Connor Everwright, who is here from KMCD Classic 96. And he'll be presenting both awards for our past presidents since we missed an awards banquet last year. And an interesting story, Connor says at the end of the day in his family, even with arguments, everybody's right. Ha ha! I asked him back there, are you ever wrong? And he said, oh, I'm asked that a lot too. So we have Vanessa Marie Young-Willman. She's our 2020, well, she's 19 and 20. I think you had to finish one and do a whole nother one for yourself, didn't you? Foss Kiken, and this is, you know, when you're my age, you're supposed to do brain games, so I do a brain game trying to say the name of this law firm. And I work on it. I work really hard and see how I can get it out. So I figure if I could change Foss to Fossen instead of Foss, then I'd have Fossen, Kiken, Gooken, Cochran, Cameron, and if I could have Helen, but that's kind of like Hellion, but maybe that's okay. I don't know. That could be close to how he is, and then if we could have Willen, I've got it made. So I go over and over and over that. Anyhow, Vanessa did wonderful things for our chamber. She's been invaluable. She brought leadership in areas that we hadn't had before, operations. She spearheaded the creation of the Chambers Foundation. Keep that in your mind. And she just presented us with her greatest achievement ever. Parker, there you go, Parker Marie Young-Willman, our newest baby member. Congratulations, join me. Then John Sanbothi, who was our recent past president, was not able to be with us tonight. He had a tremendous promotion and transfer and is away from the area now, but he did incredible things too. He totally changed the format for the board meetings and is such a strong proponent for agriculture that he helped create a new level of membership for farm families. He reconfigured the annual Teachers Appreciation event that the Chamber puts on each year, and the annual Ag Appreciation Day, which had been a barbecue, into now our really popular Barnyard Bash. that's family-based. You don't want to miss that either. Out by the health center, right, everybody, at the Mazdem Barns. Wonderful, wonderful event. So we thank John for all of those things. Moving right along to the Fairfield Manufacturers Association President's Award, and it's sponsored by the Fairfield Manufacturers. It recognizes the work of the association's past president, and that's a big thing, and it's been such a challenging couple of years. We have our lovely Lori Schaefer-Wheaton here presenting the award to Mike Nelson from Dexter. Mike does numerous things, but his hallmark is his steady guiding force that has helped the Manufacturers Association through these challenging times, serving as president not only in 2019, but in 2020, and has agreed to do it again, I understand, for 2021. So we all thank you. Every year, we're so excited to see what's happening in our businesses around the area, and we have the Business Improvements Awards. They recognize businesses and organizations that, for notable internal or external physical improvements to the appearance of their businesses. We will recognize the nominees first: Jefferson County Realty, Wheaton Capital, Agri-Industrial Plastics, Jefferson County Cider Works, Fishback and Stevenson Cider House, Kelly's Supply Company, and Faircast. Join me in congratulating all these nominees for what they have done. And now for the Business Improvement Award, and we have Vanessa Willman here, who will be presenting it for, say it with me, Fossen, Kiken, Gukran, Cameron, whoever, all of those people will be presenting this award to Dexter. Dexter has certainly positively impacted our community with their new high-tech laundromat and building on Burlington Avenue. It's sleek, it's contemporary, it's state-of-the-art, and it's answered a huge need in our community, a huge need. It features 30 washers. Anybody ever had a day when they could have used that at their house? And it features 30 dryer pockets. You want to ask them what a dryer pocket is?
It's one of those things that you see on the back wall up there.
Oh, I didn't know that either when I talked to these folks. Yeah. But you have two places, I understand, to put clothing in, two dryer pockets.
Absolutely.
Anybody use one of those at their home? It is refreshingly clean, and it's fully accessible for everybody. Of special interest to you might be also that it takes coins, but also mobile credit of all kind. Credit cards, Apple, Google, meets everyone's needs. So join me in congratulating these great people. Next, we have our Agriculture Award. This award is sponsored by Jefferson County Farm Bureau Fossen, Kiken, Gookin Bureau. Okay, by Lane Eads, and it recognizes a Jefferson County area individual or business for their contributions in the agricultural sector and our economy. This year's recipient is Joe Ledger, and he's bringing his prime business associate with him. This is his farmhand, 7-year-old grandson, Brecken Dodds. Brecken was born in September, and he was in his car seat in the combine to harvest that fall. So he's been at it a very, very long time. He's a great example of tomorrow's agriculture for all of us. Joe's an outspoken advocate for agriculture with a true passion for our community and his 800-acre farm operation, as well as farming in general. He's a major supporter of Jefferson County Farm Bureau, and he's willing to give of his time and his talents as a powerful advocate. He's been focused on conservation pretty much his entire farming career, and he raises corn and soybeans and forage. Saving soil and improving water quality have been high on his and Mary Ann's, she's back there, priority list for about 4 decades now. He and Mary Ann are utilizers of no-till and of cover crops and have found great benefits from cover crops in helping to keep our soil where it is instead of blowing away or washing away. To summarize his dedication, I would like to quote something I read about Joe. He said, "We only care for the land a short time, and I want to pass it on to the next generation in better shape than when I got it." So join me in congratulating the whole Ledger family. Thank you, Brecken. Next, we have the best kept secret, and it's sponsored by the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce, and Darian Sloat will be presenting this award. This recognizes a Fairfield business that exemplifies the modern definition of best practices while maintaining a low profile in the community. This year's recipient is Little Superheroes. Yes. Here to receive this award, well, it's Christy Davis Kessel and her entourage with her this evening, which is great. Their mission is to provide help and hope to children facing serious health issues through providing assistance to families facing long-term medical crisis. Little Superheroes, the organization, was established by Christy and Alex, right here in the front, Kessel, after they experienced the challenges of having a sweet little daughter with some life-threatening health issues. They recognize that there's an incredible need out there for support and financial assistance to help alleviate the burdens that go along with having a child ill. And those burdens are not always just financial, they're emotional, they're everything. They support the unique needs of children with unique needs. That struck me as just perfect for what you're doing. They are really a shining example of what a community like ours can do when it comes to giving back and caring about each other, taking care of each other. Their hallmark is the Festival of Trees event. It not only raises money, but has become a family event. This entire hall is turned into a magical land of Christmas over the Thanksgiving holiday. It is the place you want to come to see trees of every size and decoration, ornaments, wreaths, table toppers, arrangements, anything that you can imagine, and they are so artfully arranged. We've got the decorators here, folks. It is incredible. It is amazing. And don't forget the holiday foods as well. Hundreds of community members come to share in this special time, and hundreds of people also share in their talents and their gifts and their financial support to make this happen. Their success is incredible. They have given over how much? Over $200,000 since this started. So let's give them a big hand. Our next award is the Service Business of the Year, and it's sponsored by Midwest One Bank, and it's presented by Ron Haynes, another one of those Fairfield kids that's just coming up through the ranks, and I see his name on the program quite a bit. I'm wondering if he's trying to get my job. He's maybe standing in line someday. Okay, well, how soon would you like it? This award recognizes a service business demonstrating exemplary customer service and excellence in its industry. And this year's recipient is Cambridge Investment Research. Here to accept that award is Carrie Lathrop. Carrie's another Fairfield kid, and she and we were vying to see who could be on the Libertyville Road first on the way to come in here. She could smell the cider. She knew it was back there waiting for her. Oh, Cambridge has invested in our community heart and soul. They've contributed 894 local jobs to our economy. They support volunteers by giving them paid days to volunteer to do work all over the community, from painting buildings to cleaning things up to who knows what. They work whenever possible interactively with other Fairfield businesses like Jefferson County Health Center. We very much appreciate that. They've significantly impacted the Jefferson County Fair with the Cambridge building. They've invested heavily in our upcoming Child Care Center, which, by the way, the bids came in on target, and I'm informed that it's a go. And so that's another big one. They connect Fairfield internationally via 3,300 independent financial advisors. They've been voted Dealer of the Year 12 times, voted a top workplace 12 times. They have earned 9 out of 10 in the annual financial satisfaction survey. Not bad for Fairfield, Iowa, is it, folks? Join me in congratulating Cambridge. Good deal. Congratulations. Our next award is our Tourism Award, and it's sponsored by Midwest One, and you know, Mr. I Want Your Jobs coming back on the stage. Watch him. See that? Just walks up. Look at those shiny shoes. I mean, really, that's somebody who wants to be an MC if you ever saw one, right? This award recognizes a business, organization, or project acting as a tourism catalyst, something that brings people to our town. And this year's recipient is our Carnegie Museum. And here to accept that award are board members Gloria Countryman and Dave Neff. Our Carnegie Museum is an Iowa Century Museum. You know, I'd always known that it was the first Carnegie building west of the Mississippi, but I just learned that it's the first west of Pennsylvania. And it is, I believe, Mark the 5th Carnegie, starting as the library and now the museum. That's a pretty big deal. It has a wide-ranging collection there telling the story of Fairfield within a context which encircles the globe and pulls all the various connections together, artfully and wonderfully done. It's utilized by school children, class reunions, scholars, authors, filmmakers, geologists, just to name a few, on a regular basis. A recent initiative has begun documenting and displaying bits of local history which have been stored away for decades and is worth the trip. Stop by and see it. Team Carnegie is an enthusiastic squad who take the old and make it new again. Congratulations. Next, we're celebrating our Leadership Fairfield class. It's in its 7th year. Leadership Fairfield is a wonderful opportunity and education program sponsored by the Chamber. It's been a huge success in our community, and it provides all of the folks who attend it with an amazing education about our community. It also provides them with an incredible opportunity to network with people from lots of different organizations. Darian Sloat will be presenting these awards.
Leadership Fairfield is one of my favorite events because I've done this 3 times, and I learn something new every time. And it's rare when we have a class where somebody doesn't say, I have never been in here before, we've driven by it, I've never seen it. And you know, we call it, in my head, it's also an ambassador training program because it teaches you about all things Fairfield. And as an employer, you want people to know, especially when they move here from out of town, you want them to become enmeshed in the community. And I think this program does a nice job trying to help make that happen. We want people who move here and stay here, raise a family, and it's just a lot of fun. We went to the sewer treatment plant recently. That was cool. It is cool. It's state of the art, really. We have a sewer treatment plant that is beyond compare for most small towns our size, and it will last us for many, many, many decades. So that being said, many of our classmates were not able to be here today, but let's have the rest of you come on board. All right. Before we give you your diplomas, Joe Lindsay is going to say a few words about the program.
So, after 2 years waiting to do this, from COVID, I was asked to give a little something. The sad part is, after 2 years, I've forgotten some of the names of the people I was even with. But I was asked to speak what meant a lot to me in it, and I'm one of them outsiders. I moved into town from outside of town. I'd only been here about 2.5 years when I started the program, and unless you're a banker or a person in the health industry that's born and raised here, you don't know everybody like they do. I did learn the bankers know everybody. So it was a big help to me meeting other people, getting the chance to see what Fairfield has to offer here and what the community does. And it's really amazed me at what happens here in the community, because I'm from another state, and to know some of these big things happen right here in a small town in the middle of Iowa that, looking from the outside another state, I thought all you've done was grow corn and beans. So I didn't even know pork was a big industry up in Iowa until I moved here, and I found out it's one of the biggest things here in Iowa. So very amazing. But yes, getting to meet people, working with being ambassadors, going to different businesses and seeing what they do and what they have to offer was a great experience. As well as what we learn, our team group activities. Those were always great and a lot of fun. And then I got to brag on us, because how many times they say we figured these things out faster than any other group they had. So
We tell that to everybody.
oh, is that what it is? Just make us feel good. And if anybody ever wants a picture of Darian being in front of the height chart for being put into jail, I have one. And
Your camera away.
yes, and I thought taking that picture was going to get me cuffed and actually put in jail, because I wasn't supposed to have a phone in there at the time. So it was a great experience there too. So I thank you for the experience. I know we've been told we're anywhere from slow learners, because it's taken us 2 years to complete this, to everything you can think of. So thank you.
You have a cheering section. Yes. Could Group B proceed to the various sides? Sponsors, recipients? You know, when you want something to turn pages and your grandchildren have used all of yours and you end up with the eggplants, that's not your best day in the world, and they go with the tomatoes and the carrots and the watermelon for the little stickers, and they don't stick very well. Our next award is Manufacturer of the Year. It is sponsored by the Fairfield Manufacturers Association, and Mike Nelson will be presenting. This award recognizes a manufacturer, a distributor demonstrating growth, sustainability, exemplary customer service, and excellence in its industry. And this year's recipient is Agra Industrial Plastics. And here to accept the award are Lori Schaefer-Wheaton, Dick Smith, Amy Jones, and Jason Davis, who is our current chamber president. founded in 1978 by Dick Smith with 4 employees, 1 machine, and 2 customers. I've always wondered, were those 4 he and Judy and Lori and Brian? You know? And 1 blow dryer, 1 hair dryer, I've heard. Over the past years, we have had the pleasure of recognizing this amazingly progressive Fairfield company for many numbers of reasons. Today, they've grown to over 200 employees, 28 machines, and 60 customers, but always with Dick's vision focused on employees and promoting a family environment, treating employees like one of them, and their daughter, Lori, continues that tradition. The future, including our community, is always at their forefront. Agra always is looking forward when they have employed their Tesla PowerPack solar array or leading the non-automotive fuel tank industry. They're always looking forward. They critically care about the community and they invest heavily in our community. They've provided significant support for our child care center, African Violets, Little Superheroes, supporting education initiatives and funding critical community resources. 44 years into the game, I think that we can anticipate the next 44 will be filled with continuing innovation and growth right here in Fairfield, Iowa. Congratulations. Our next award is Project or Projects, because we've had 2 years here, of the year, sponsored by Pilot Grove Savings Bank and presented by Ryan Swanson. This year's first recipient is the Howard Park Playground, made possible by a volunteer group led by Lori Stokes Woods and Emily Martland. Here to accept the award is Lori Stokes Woods. Lori and Emily had parallel visions before they even learned about each other. Both had small children who enjoyed taking to Howard Park, but there were 4 swings, 2 for kids and 2 for adults. And there was usually a line, and there was usually unhappiness among little children wanting to swing and no place to swing. I understand. So they started researching what funding was out there and learned there wasn't any when they went to Park and Rec and went to the park systems. And Lori asked a good friend and personal mentor, Dave Neff, could 2 people actually raise thousands of dollars to build a playground? And Dave said, only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. Lori and Emily led that fundraising event and garnered about $34,000 in 10 months. Ron Haynes, there he goes again, he's out there somewhere, wanted to be sure his name's in here. Fairfield, of his job on Park and Rec's board, kept track of every single penny of the money coming in. Familiar faces, I'm remembering you. The Greater Jefferson County Foundation really kicked it up with the $9,000 award, but Lori says the real heroes were the people that dropped $5, $10, or $20 into the pots to make this happen. Once again, the Fairfield community pulling together to support an important initiative. The pair said that they were able to install the equipment in a day and a half because of all of the volunteers who came out to help get that done. A real testament again to the volunteer spirit. I took my grandchildren there to test drive it, and I'd like you to know that egg thing you've got, what do you call that? If you have a tendency for motion sickness, do not get in the big blue egg, but it's a wonderful place. Wonderful place with wonderful things. 4 slides, kept everybody busy for a while, which is pretty nice. I like that. Anyway, join me in congratulating Lori and Emily on a wonderful project. Congratulations. Our next project of the year goes to J.C. Huffman. And here to receive the award are Theresa and Jim Huffman. These amazing two saw that we had a need to refurbish our Santa house for the holidays in Central Park. And driven by their desire to give back to the community, they decided we needed a whole new Santa house. So they built, decorated, fully outfitted a new, wonderful Santa house and then refurbished the old one to become a workshop for Santa. That wasn't enough. These two went ahead and proceeded to imagine and bring to fruition a project where they made wooden ornaments for children to decorate and then have their picture taken to put in the center to take home to decorate in their own homes. And oh no, they didn't stop there. They arranged to have hot chocolate and cookies and candy canes, all the things that little children love, and they staffed it. They managed to get staff. That's a challenge all by itself. For how long? What period? How many weeks?
4 weeks every year.
4 weeks. Every year. Countless hours, countless dollars, and a countlessly huge commitment to our community. They have very positively impacted it. They've impacted our holiday traditions, and they're helping to make memories for young and old. Thank you, and congratulations. Our next award is the Restaurant of the Year, and it's sponsored by Beaner Funeral Home and will be presented by Arnold Rerup. Did you know Arnold's a sprinter? Are you still sprinting? Are you still sprinting? The first time I ever met Arnold, I've never seen a sprinter faster in my whole life. That's because he was running away from me. And I'm not sure why. It might have had something to do with I was in a cow costume wandering around downtown. He was new and scared to death. I think he thought something evil had taken over the town. Arnold is wonderful. He and his family do so much for all of us. This new award recognizes a restaurant or bar demonstrating exemplary customer service and excellence in its industry. And this year's recipient is Aranda's Restaurant. Here to accept this award is Patrice Solis and Juan Asensio. Diners flock to this hot spot across from the post office. Their vision is to provide the best quality fresh food with great Mexican flavor, offered with the best possible service. And talk about fast. This is where you'll find it, and it's polite, and they're very accommodating. While you're there, their product is great food, consistent with that high quality goal, and they also have the convenience of long hours. If you want to find a place to eat out on a Monday in Fairfield, there's your place to dine. And speaking of that place, they bought the building and they're working it over, the whole thing, with paint and remodeling. They have added a pergola and outdoor seating, which has really helped during the pandemic that we've all been experiencing. Very real, wonderful addition to our community. Congratulations. Would Group C please report to sponsor and recipient? Retailer of the Year, sponsored by the Washington State Bank and presented by Brittany Gavin, is next. This new award recognizes a retail business that demonstrates exemplary customer service and excellence in the industry. This year's recipient is Adela's, and here to accept it is our own Kara Waugh. I see that Kara has her support team because Adela's was founded in 2006 by our Dorian right here in our audience. And Kara, you acquired it in 2018? Okay, she successfully strives to offer unique items, gifts, and home decor not offered anywhere else, and she manages to do that. And she does it with excellent personalized customer service. And when I say personalized, I mean it. I was there one day, and a gentleman walked in. They knew who he was, what his wife wanted, and they guided him, and he said, just wrap it up, and I'll take it home, and everybody was happy. Going to be happy, I think. So that's pretty darn good. Adelis is a destination for people, not just from this town, but surrounding communities, and I think farther away than that. In addition, and in keeping with the changing times, CARE has added online shopping, social media channels, and video selling. I'll need the class so that I can buy. Anyway, she partners with other businesses in both our community and our region to offer special shopping adventures and events like Fiesta Days, shop hops, and holiday events. She loves being part of our small community, she says, and relishes the opportunities to support us through her community involvement and her philanthropy. Thank you. Go, Mom, that's great. Our next recognition will be team recognitions by Darian Sloat.
All right, thank you, Janine, thank you. Eat the mic, right? Thank you. All right, cool. I would like to recognize our banquet planning committee. These are challenging things to put on, especially when they start and they stop and they start again. And so we've had a great group, and the leader of the team is Denise Hall. Where are you hiding out, Denise? You're behind the curtain, aren't you? Step out here, please.
Down here.
She does a great job. She is a bulldog, and you don't want to get in her way. That's what I have found out. And you don't need to, because she really does a good job. Rounding out the crew, Janine Parker, thank you. Joe Stevers hiding over there. Ian B's over there. And my wife has been helping us tonight, so thank you. So as a chamber, we did grow to 3 people for a while. We really felt like we were trying to just do more, and of course COVID hit. We lost our events coordinator, and so it was me and it was Danielle. And Danielle wasn't an events coordinator, but she is now. Danielle is shy, but she is wickedly competent, and really saved me, because she has skills that I don't even pretend I have. So I thank you. You've done a great job stepping up during this period, and you actually make it look easy. So thank you very much.
Okay, how are your heinies? We're on the last round. You're going to be okay for a little bit here? Our next award is for the Young Professional of the Year. It is sponsored by Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., and presented by Carrie Lathrop. She comes from both sides of the stage equally. This award recognizes an individual 40 years or younger for their outstanding commitment to the community and professional accomplishments, and volunteerism. Guess I've aged out, right? This year's recipient is Stephen Pedrick from French Reniker Associates. Stephen is a fairly local boy. We imported him from Van Buren County, but we have him here now, so that's good. He is someone who's always looking to do good in our community. He's possibly the most polite and thoughtful young man I know. In dealings, he's always supportive and carefully processes information to provide the very best interventions. He's a cool head and listens to all and works to attain a consensus. He's currently a project manager at French Reniker, and he also serves on the board. He's been fully engaged and involved in the Jefferson County Trails since its inception, and still, and I believe he's had many roles, but is currently president. There you go. He's past president and board member of our chamber. He's active in a variety of committees. He's an avid biker and has worked with several RAGBRAIs. He's also an avid canoeist and supports all activities related to that. He loves cuisines, so he supports all the fabulous cuisines we have in this town, which is another good thing. He especially likes lentil soup, I know. Yeah. Oh. There's one little problem with going out, I hear. When he takes his wife out, they always have to stop someplace to check out a project. So he has a dual sword there when he's taking her out. He currently leads his family's Masonic Lodge, which is a true Pedrick family tradition. Stephen is a strong family guy and gets extra points for snagging Afton Howlauer, she was our children's librarian. Good job. He and Afton were always very active in our young professionals group and are very much open to newcomers to town and helping people network and get to know others. Congratulations, Stephen. The Rising Star Award is sponsored by Iowa State Bank and will be presented by Aaron Kness. That's another one. I'm watching my back with that one, too. This award recognizes a business in their first 5 years of operation making outstanding contributions to the Fairfield area. Our recipient is Som Wines. And here to accept it is Todd Mathis for he and his lovely wife, Krista. Someone just hit me in the rear. That usually means there's something wrong back here, you know. You have to turn around, find it out. So back to Som Wines. They opened in April of 2016 with a sweet, young, vivacious sommelier, and it started as a small storefront on the square. Their focus was mostly retail at that point, but they've moved to a wonderful location on Briggs and renovated inside and out. And it's a pleasure to be in any part of their location. As you can tell, I might have experienced it personally, especially in the shade. What is that ancient tree you have? Oh, it's a fabulous ancient old tree. It's a perfect setting for sipping. This provides our community with a wonderful place to enjoy fine wines and purchase them as well. They're very carefully researched and selected. Especially with Krista's gentle but assured guidance, I know you can find just the right thing for you. And she has recognition of people because anybody can walk in and say, "What does Parker like?" And she knows. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. I have personal experience, right? They have grown from 100 different wines to over 250 wines in a year's time. During COVID, they offered, "We'll bring it to your car" service. And I know ever so many people who said, "Oh, today I've got to go get my stash to get me through the next month of COVID." So, and they have expansion plans for next year, including live music, wine tastings, private parties, and more. So, blessed be the wine that ties our hearts together. Congratulations. Are you staying up if you're not doing economic impact? Okay. Economic Impact Award is also sponsored by Iowa State, and guess who's coming back? Yeah, you got your eyes on me too. Great. Probably the people with the ambulance do too. The Economic Impact Award recognizes a business or organization for significant contributions to the economic vitality of Fairfield through job growth, major physical business expansions, construction, and adding new tax-based valuation. This year's recipient is Traffics Devices, and Mike Parker is here to receive the award. Traffics Devices is a 35-year-old manufacturer of traffic control devices and crash attenuation products. Doesn't that just stir images in your mind? And I was kind of wondering, do you do anything with marauding cattle out in the country, you know, for traffic control? I could use some out where I live. Their goal is wonderful. It is to save lives, both motorists and highway workers on our world's highways, not just in the U.S., but over the world. And this requires some pretty specific engineering and engineering excellence and a clear understanding of what all the different countries need, which right here in Fairfield, folks, Traffic's expanded their east building to accommodate a third roto-molding machine with the capacity to add 2 more. They created 20 more jobs, bringing their total workforce to 175. Is that it? If you can find them, I know it's everybody's problem right now. They also continue to support our community through scholarships, contributions to the convention center here, FIDA, the Fairfield Manufacturers Association Annual Teacher of the Year golf outing event to raise money, Teacher Appreciation Days, and various other events. In this great community, we are richly blessed. Thank you, Mike, and thank you to Traffic's Devices. The Entrepreneurial Spirit Award is sponsored by Agri-Industrial Plastics and will be presented by Lori Schaefer-Wheaton. It recognizes a... Oh, that's what the bum hit was for. Jason Davis is presenting, not Lori Schaefer-Wheaton. I'll get my act together, but we're almost done, so I don't have far to go, right? Maybe a double whack next time would be better. Recognizes a business owner for their high level of entrepreneurial spirit, setting Fairfield apart. Our award this year goes to Fairfield Universal Therapy, and here to receive that award are Dana and Adam Conolog. Yeah. Dana Kuiken Conolog grew up in Fairfield, and she was away from Fairfield for a while, providing expert physical therapy services in the Pacific Northwest. But she came back and she brought another one with her, her excellent physical therapist husband, Adam, and they decided to permanently settle here. Great for us? Yes? When they had an opportunity to purchase their business, they got right on it and acquired the financing to do it and made it a locally owned and operated business, another score for our community. Their goal is to bring high quality and individualized physical therapy treatments and programs to take care of all people. They currently have programs to treat sports injuries, post-surgical, procedure rehab, balance, vestibular treatments, women's health, dry needling, and more. In the past 9 years, these two have grown from just the two of them to a staff of 6 full-time clinical associates and a full-time office manager. Sound about right? You know, you have to do a lot of snooping and sleuthing to get this stuff, I'll tell you. And they're looking forward to a very bright future here in Fairfield, as we all are. Congratulations. Our next award is for our Student Employee of the Year. It's sponsored by Indian Hills Community College and will be presented by Dr. Jill Buddy. This award recognizes a local high school student, and we've missed a year now, remember, employee who demonstrates outstanding reliability, quality of work, initiative, professionalism, interpersonal skills, and unique contributions to the employer. How many of those would you all like to have with all those? Indian Hills is very proud to sponsor this award, as they recognize that the need to teach not only academic skills, but also positive workplace skills is very important. This year's recipient is David Burnett from the Libertyville Savings Bank. I'm just going to tell you that Libertyville Savings Bank could not say enough good about this young man. Like, could we bring this down to just maybe a half hour to talk about him or so? Wonderful, wonderful things. He's worked for them for 5 years, is that accurate? And is an exemplary employee. He's always early and well prepared for his days. He's very professional and the customers love him. He isn't afraid to ask questions and is an avid learner. Are we getting better every minute, folks? He has even helped their IT department with large projects and has always pitched in whenever needed. David is currently going to Central College in Pella, and he's double majoring in biology and biochemistry. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Libertyville Savings Bank's very proud of you, and so are we. Thank you. This year, we have a special recognition award. It was decided that it was most fitting that we add a category this year and call it special recognition, and it's exactly what it is, because it recognizes individuals who've stepped to the plate during some of our most trying situations and times and worked diligently and tirelessly to positively impact all of us, all of our lives, and all of our safety. This award is also sponsored by Indian Hills Community College. I'm watching you too. Okay, yeah, you're back. And is presented by Dr. Jill Buddy. The recipients of this award are Chris Estel, who is Director of Jefferson County Public Health, and Brett Farrell, Jefferson County Emergency Management Coordinator. They have hour-to-hour assimilated, processed, and disseminated new, update, and constantly changing information. I know that these two repeat themselves just about 1 million times a day if they could count, as they implement, as they educate, and as they reassure, bringing the latest and greatest to each of us and all of our businesses and industries and healthcare for our community. They have definitely positively impacted us in so many countless ways. Congratulations, you two. There you go, there you go. Our next award is called the Legacy Award, and it's sponsored by First National Bank, and Darren Van Bibber will be presenting it. The Legacy Award recognizes individuals for choosing Fairfield to grow their business and who created a lasting impact in the community over the last 20 years. This recipient is none other than our retired mayor, Ed Malloy. Okay. I could spend the entire evening going through a list of his many and varied accomplishments. A fine gentleman indeed. And I was thinking when they were talking about the sewer plant and the infrastructure here, we have to thank this gentleman for getting that project off the ground and seeing it through. And we're going to be set up for as long as I need the sewer project for sure, I think. So that pleases me very, very much. Ed did choose Fairfield for his business. He did enter the public sector with his successful bids for the mayoral seat. He did bring many wonderful things to our community, from that infrastructure to people development. Likely, he is best recognized for his ability and strength in listening, which is nearly a lost art, folks. He listens to and he genuinely hears all the different parts of our community. Ed has nurtured cohesiveness and brought a new level of genuine understanding and joining of forces as a team to positively impact all of our varied communities. He's always been a force and a voice of reason in any room filled with differing views. How do we thank and reward someone for 20 years or more of giving us this huge, impactful benefit? All of us. Tonight, Ed, you're recognized for the lasting impact you have had and continue to have on our community. Please join me in congratulating you. And now the culmination of a great evening of celebrating so many great things about this fabulous community that we can call home is our Outstanding Citizen Community Service Awards, also known as Citizens of the Year. These awards are sponsored by the Libertyville Savings Bank and will be presented by Jill Burnett. It recognizes area citizens who have significantly contributed diverse, voluntary service, ongoing over many years and over a great deal of time, contributing to the betterment and growth and improvement of our communities. Would all past Citizens of the Year who might be in attendance please stand? You know what? You can look around at them, and every one of them is still doing what they've always done. They're still volunteering, and they're still serving all of us in so many ways. There will be 2 recipients. They do not know that they have been selected. It's a very closely held secret. Our last year's recipients will provide overviews of this year's recipients. Our last year's recipients were Jim Flintspaw and Joan Saltz.
Okay, for the first recipient, our Citizen of the Year recipient is a longtime member of the Fairfield community and has repeatedly demonstrated volunteerism in a variety of ways. This person's contribution to Fairfield is widespread in terms of scope, as this person has served on numerous boards and organizations. Stated on one of the nomination papers, very caring, kind, and sensitive person. Loves the challenge on a project by careful planning, listening carefully, and thoughtful input for a beautiful project well done. This person was an original member of the Pool Gym Task Force, a member of the Strategic Planning Commission for Fairfield's future, volunteered time to help pack boxes for the Lord's cupboard, a past member of the Fairfield Art Association and Carnegie Museum Foundation, and currently serves on the Fairfield Evergreen Cemetery Board. As a past board member of the Education Foundation of Fairfield Public Schools, it is apparent that this person wants the best for the students and will do what this person can to facilitate that belief by being a mentor for all ages from kindergarten through high school. This recipient received the Friend of Education Award for helping create the Cemetery Day program for middle school students by sharing their artisan talent and love of stone carving. Through the years, this person has volunteered to head up such youth activities such as Cub Scout Den leader, Little League coach, helped organize the Youth Football League in Fairfield with John Stever, and mentored youth from elementary school through high school. Volunteering continues with such projects that have visually unified Fairfield together as a community through their actions, working on the brick by brick Heritage Courtyard, the Trojan Honor Plaza, and the Trojan Honor Courtyard, Jefferson County Veterans Memorial, and the Barhite Chapel Memorial. True examples of this person's actions working for the betterment of our community. As an artist, this person shares those talents through the designs and creations you see around town. The Trojan banners around the schools, the Fairfield High School sign, unique silhouettes on the east side of the high school, Fairfield entrance signs plus the Partners for Play signage. As past president of the Fairfield Rotary Club, this recipient exemplifies the club motto, service above self. As stated in a nomination paper, this person has given willingly of their time and talents, plus financial support to these endeavors continually over 30-plus years. As a fifth-generation business owner here in Fairfield, he is clearly on board in helping to promote our community in whatever way he can. It is my great pleasure to introduce the Chamber of Commerce 2020-21 Citizen of the Year, Kent Whitney.
Wow. Wow, that was crazy. Thank you. Never had a standing ovation before. Usually that's after I leave a room, I think. And I have to admit, a lot of the things that were just said, I'd forgotten. So I would like a copy of that, just, for my obituary someday. But seriously, thank you very much. I feel very fortunate to be a part of Fairfield's community, being born and raised here. I've had a lot of great mentors through the years, people like Dave Reef, Larry Nash, Judy Cox, Dick Wallerab, Rich Stokes. There's one more, I can't remember his name. I think it's Ron somebody. It starts with an H. Ron, oh yeah, Hunter Dose. Yeah. No, but thank you guys. Having a regional business like we do, I spend a lot of time in surrounding communities, and Fairfield has it going on. There's a little bit of envy with our restaurants and just the culture and the diversity in our community, and just the young, talented entrepreneurs that we have. It's definitely unique, and I do believe it is a destination, and so that's something that we can all be proud of. And so that's all I got to say. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good evening. Before introducing tonight's second honoree, I would like to thank you all for the award given to me in 2019. It's important to me that you know how much I appreciate living in a community of people who share their time, talents, and donations to help those in need, particularly with the renovation of the Lord's Cupboard building. It took many people to make that renovation possible, and I thank them all for their passion for helping that become reality. Our second outstanding citizen has been a resident of Fairfield for many years. In addition to holding full-time positions in business, This person has volunteered in many diverse areas of our community. One of the nominators stated that this person seems to move seamlessly from one responsibility to another, fulfilling each one in a quiet and unassuming manner. With a heart for children, our honoree tutored students at Pence and mentored other students in the district, receiving a Friend of Education Award for those efforts. Also, this person demonstrated professionalism and fairness when serving as the chair of the Fairfield Community School District Book Reconsideration Committee. This person has also served as an usher and ticket taker for shows at the Sondheim. Another nominator shared that this person's warmth and always say yes attitude makes this person a valuable asset to our community. Our honoree is respectful and friendly to all, never seeking the spotlight, and remaining positive, generous, and humble. Possessing a big heart, this person is charitable with time and talent throughout our community and for the benefit of all. One of the first places our honoree volunteered is with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Reserve for 2 years. Also, this person helped with meals for families' church functions and for after-school activities. She is a wife, mother of 2, and doting grandmother of 5, with a 6th one on the way, and enjoys helping their families and relaxing with them. She is a member of Tri-T, AAUW, Chapter C PEO, and the Hens. From a nominator comes this statement: her desire to help others spills over in so much of her life. However, this person is best known for her involvement in music. As one nominator expressed, music, look up that word in the dictionary and you will find a picture of her. She is an accomplished percussionist, playing in the Southeast Iowa Band, the Fairfield Municipal Band, the Drury Ducks, and other groups. She has assisted on the Band-Aids board, serving as treasurer for many years. She also has participated on the Civic Center's Grand Piano Committee. Yet the place many people remember seeing our honoree most often is on the piano bench. As a nominator mentioned, music is a universal language, and she reveals its secrets to the community. Try to share the names to all the groups our honoree has played for is pretty difficult, and I'll probably leave 1 or 2 out, but here goes. Our honoree has served as a rehearsal and performance pianist for the Fairfield Community Chorus, the Fairfield Area Community Theater for many, many hours and shows, Van Buren Players, again for many hours and shows, Fairfield High School choirs in concerts and contests, individual students and small student groups, the Coming Home, Coming Together concerts at the Sondheim, the All-Star Jazz Band, and the First United Methodist Church worship services, praise band, and chancel choir. As the nominator shared, without Leanne's energy, talent, and commitment to Fairfield's arts, there would be a huge hole in the quality of life in this community. And another nominator revealed, Leanne is my choice for Outstanding Citizen because of her contribution to the soundtrack of Fairfield. Please join me in congratulating Leanne Edgton as our Outstanding Citizen of the Year. I kind of know you.
I know.
Gosh, Jim asked me tonight if I even really wanted to come because I've been pretty sick here recently with ear infection and cold and all that, stuff that's going around. So I'm not going to be able to talk very long, but this was absolutely a huge surprise. And when Jim brought me here in 1992, it seems like a really long time ago, but it was really easy to get involved in this community because this community is, we all know what's so special about this. And to be able to serve and do what I can do, which is, just sit on the piano and play. But it's been a great honor to do that. And I'm really enjoying the fact that I can give back to the community for that. So I really appreciate it, and thanks, Jim. That was a great introduction, and you had me. Jim originally said he was going to be getting some kind of an award, and this year for him has been pretty good since he's just retired, and it's like, okay, one more. What the heck? So yeah, he got me pretty good. And my son showed up, so that was like, oh, this isn't about Jim. Oops. So anyway, thank you so much for that award, and great, thanks again.
Well, folks, I'd like you to turn around and look at the person on your left and the person on your right and behind you in front of you, because you're looking at the heroes of Fairfield when you do that, because it takes every single one of you to make this vibrant community what it is. And we all cherish each of you and the things that you do to make all of us and this community so exemplary. This brings to the end the evening. We look forward to seeing you all at next year's awards banquet, God willing, that we're able to come together again. Thank you for your support, and have a great, safe evening.
All right, you're almost done. Congratulations to all the award recipients. Great choices. We've been waiting a year and a half for this, folks, so it's a tough secret to keep in a lot of cases. Those Citizens of the Year were very deserving people. Quick thank you, Midwest One Bank, our presenting sponsor, Fishback and Stevenson, Jefferson County Cider Works, Schaus Voorhees Company, all of our award sponsors. This is a benefit for the Chamber, and we appreciate that support to make this happen. Of course, Werner Elker and the staff here at the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center, particularly Mindy McAdam and Norman Hinman Van Camp. You will get a survey probably in the next week as ideas about how we can do this differently, do it better. Please take a minute to do that. It's not a long survey. Also, if you're interested in getting more involved, we have numerous committees that we would love to have fresh blood come in and help us make things better every time. Thank you all. Have a great night.